How's it going, everyone? It is Monday, August the 3rd, 2026, and it is Music Monday. My name is Fox McFly. They have low no standards, and I let my coworker once again pick the topic for this week. So the two choices she had were Balancing Composure and Death Cab for Cutie. So she picked Death Cab for Cutie, and in her words, I was like, why did you pick Death Cab for Cutie? And she says, it aligns with how I feel lately. And then she said, it's marked in red Sharpie to show it was marked in blood. So, can't argue with that. We'll be talking about Death Cab for Cutie today. Maybe Balancing Composure and From Indian Lakes will get their time to shine. I might put them up against each other next week. I don't know. But she's the perfect person to throw these band names at because she doesn't listen to that music. And it's my attempt to try not to have coworker music taste. So, Death Cab for Cutie is an insane band to talk about. They're from Bellingham, Washington. They started recording in school. Their first album came out in 1997. So they've been around for a hot minute. And what's really cool about Death Cab for Cutie is they have two very distinct writing styles. And I will classify them as during Chris Walla and post Chris Walla. Because as soon as that man left the band, their sound changed so much. So my favorite Death Cab is with Chris Walla, and it was one of those things that I didn't realize how big of an impact he had on like their sound and guitar work until he had left the band. And it went, in my opinion, it went downhill very, very fast. They just went from being like this really like indie band. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. They went from being like this really cool sounding indie band to like, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like dad rock, but like not like Nickelback. It's like dad jam band rock. It's not good, in my opinion. If you like it, let me know. I'd be interested to hear what songs I should listen to. I tried to listen to the new album. I just can't do it. So I will be talking about some of their music while Chris Walla was in the band, because in my opinion, I think that's their best. Like, their best run was when he was in the band. We got nothing. But that's alright. So, their very first album, I know, I'm going off my phone because I'm trying to compile my thoughts because I have a lot to say, but I think it'd just be better if I have their albums up on my phone and I just go through it. So, the 1997 album is called You Can Play These Songs with These Chords. Very, very good album. Very rough. It's almost like, if you're a big fan of like old REM, like you're gonna like that album. It's solid. It's a little rough. The audio quality is terrible, but to be fair, it came out in 97. So very good. I would recommend a few songs off of that album, but honestly, I think they ended up just re-releasing or redoing a bunch of those songs in later albums, or in the album that came after a year later, which is Something About Airplanes, which is one of my favorite albums, not just a Death Cab album, but just like it's an indie rock album, but it has like these punk elements to it. And again, if you like old school like REM, you're gonna really like Something About Airplanes. Just from start to finish, man, like Jesus Christ, man. Super, super raw, but very fun to listen to. Audio quality is not the best, but man, it's so good. I remember I got Something About Airplanes. My parents bought it for me one year for Christmas, and it was already when I had been like pretty into Death Cab. But they're like, oh man, we didn't know that they had this out. This is back when, like, before music streaming was a big thing. Like, you'd go to record stores and pick up CDs and stuff. So they got it for me one year for Christmas, and after already liking other Death Cab, I'll get to some of those albums in a minute, but like albums like I was really into Plans, and then I remember when Narrow Stairs came out, and so when my parents saw Something About Airplanes, they're like, oh, it's like their first record. They bought it for me, and I fell in love with it. It is still to this day one of like the coolest albums to listen to. I think it's so unique. And then after Something About Airplanes, probably one of my all-time favorite albums, which is We Have the Facts and We're Voting Yes. Dude, I would recommend some songs off of that album, but to be honest, from start to finish, it is like perfect. It takes you through like so many like different sounds. Like you'll have like really slow songs with like post-rocky elements, and then you'll have like some like upbeat, like more typical like indie pop songs. It's like that album is all over the place with their sound. It's so good. They do everything so well. I can't recommend that album enough. I have Something About Airplanes on vinyl. We have The Fact We're Voting Yes on vinyl. I have the only albums I'm missing on vinyl from Death Cab is their newer stuff, because I don't care. I don't care to listen to it. I think the only album I'm missing is the photo album. And I think I'm missing Narrow Stairs too. Narrow Stairs and Codes and Keys, and that'll finish my Chris Walla era of Death Cab vinyls, and then I can die happy. I can die happy once I get all those on vinyl. So my collection's almost complete. I just gotta finish it. I don't think they're hard albums to find, but it's just it's a goal of mine. I was gonna start doing all their if they would have stayed like sounding good, I would try and get the newer stuff. But you guys will have to check it out. Let me know. I think Asphalt Meadows may be okay, and Thank You for Today may be okay, but we're just going to talk about the Chris Walla era. I do have Kintsugi on vinyl, but he did help. I think he helped write or produce some of it. I'll have to check the back. But I know he was still kind of in the process when Kintsugi came out, and that's when you could start to hear a change in their sound. But anyways, so after we have the facts, you have the photo album, which is, dude, I'm not kidding you, like early Death Cab like this. Like, let's see, from 97 up until 2011, they were on like a could not miss, like consistently good music. So the photo album is no exception. The photo album was one that I actually didn't care for the first couple of times I've heard it, but I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I sat down and listened to it again. There's songs I like off of it, but it just, to me, it was just not like a all banger album like the other ones were. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I sat down and I listened to it from start to finish. Maybe because I'm a little bit older. I was a little bit older. I wasn't in like middle school or high school anymore. I really vibe with that album. Like We Laugh Indoors is insane. We Look Like Giants, dude. The whole album is great. I will recommend a few songs off of that one, and I'll put them up here. But yeah, those are 3 songs I'd recommend checking it out. Good album start to finish, but it's a unique album. What do we got? We got nothing. I'm just trying to get through, going through the albums that Chris Walla was in, and then I'll start to give unfiltered opinions. And so after the photo album, probably many would argue that this is like their magnum opus, their best album. Nothing can be better than this album, and that argument could be right, man. Like, honestly, the album's called Transatlanticism, and that's when you start to hear like a more mature sound come from them, and it's more mellow. Those first like 4 albums, they're very raw. The audio quality is not the best. I think the photo album probably out of those 4 has the best sounding audio. But I wouldn't say it would be the best like put together. I would have to give it to Where We Have the Facts or Something About Airplanes to get away from me. You son of a bitch. Can I bore him through? That'd be wild. Oh, I did. Sweet. But yeah, I would say the photo album has the best like sounding, or the best sound quality. But then now Transatlanticism, they roughed out the edges. They went through a little bit of a sound change. They also went through a drummer change, if I remember correctly. So new drummer, different playing style from the old ones. Nathan Good off the first album will always be my favorite. There's just something about his drum style I really like. But Jason, the one that came in around this time, he's really good too. He's more like jazzy and come on. His drum style is really good. It's just I just prefer Nathan Good. and there was a different dude off of We Have the Facts. I can't remember his name, but he was really good too. But then they got Jason, and he kind of evolved their sound. He roughed out the edges, and Transatlanticism could be easily argued, you know, one of their best album of all time, and nothing will top it. And I see that argument. I know that when I say that for me it's We Have the Facts, I know I'm wrong. Like, I know I'm completely wrong when I say that, because Transatlanticism arguably is the better album, just from start to finish. The musicianship, the way that they play the piano, Transatlanticism, the track, beautiful. So many good songs. Title and Registration off that album, every song is great. So from Transatlanticism, it's crazy, man, because after that album they put out the album Plans, and to be completely honest, you could also argue that Plans is their magnum opus, the best they've ever put out. And that's 2 back-to-back albums that could be considered their best work of all time. And I can see the argument too. Plans is phenomenal. It takes like Transatlanticism, it kind of refines it a little bit more. It gets a little bit more slow at points. They're really like rounding out their sound, and you can kind of feel them, you know, figuring out what they want to sound like, or what they think they want to sound like, because the album afterwards just is nothing like it either. But really slow album, really jazz like influenced piano becomes more prevalent, unlike the other albums, and it works. Some good songs like Soul Meets Body. You have you son of a bitch. You got Soul Meets Body. You got I Will Follow You Into the Dark. You got Brothers on a Hotel Bed. You got What Sarah Said. Like, arguably could be considered one of their best album of all time. Dude, I broke. I won't even get to see if I got anything. I don't think I did. But yeah, I'm going to do a TLDR on this too, and I'm going to post it to TikTok and Instagram, and if I make it short enough, I'll post it to Shorts, because YouTube, you're getting the unfiltered, unedited everything, just the long-form stream of consciousness. But yeah, Plans could definitely be considered like their best album of all time and their greatest work. And what's crazy about it is they came like one after the other. What was the time frame? We're talking 2-year difference. 2-year difference, and they put out 2 albums that could be considered their best of all time. You guys will have to check it out. Listen to those albums from start to finish. I know right now in the music world, like, singles are where it's at, but I've always been an album guy. Like, I can make a playlist and like enjoy the songs, but I'm the type of listener where I'll put on an album and I'll listen to it from start to finish. And I'll try not to skip the song. It really depends on my mood, but I'm an album guy, so I do usually just recommend God damn it. I do usually just recommend checking out the album. I thought that would get me somewhere. Okay, we're gonna have to, because that's gonna break just about everything. So if you're not that kind of listener, I get it, but when it comes to some of these artists that I'm recommending, it's really like just sit down and, you know, just vibe out and listen to the album. But I'm weird like that. I could be content with just, you know, putting headphones on, laying in my bed, staring at the ceiling and listening to music. That's just, I've always been like that. But so after Plans, you would think that like with Transatlanticism and Plans being like back to back, it was like, whoa, like they found their sound, because Transatlanticism and Plans have their similarities like tonally. Like they're more chill, they're more polished, they're not as like punk or like, it's still, I would say like contemporary rock, I think would be the proper term. So they went from like a raw, jagged, like punkish indie alt band to like a more contemporary alt rock band with their sound, if that makes any sense. But so when Narrow Stairs was teased, they put out the single, which was I Will Possess Your Heart. And I remember when that song came out, it's like 8 or 9 minutes long, and it's like, it's just post-rock, man. Like, it's so good, that single. So I was like, oh man, so they're going to go with a more like kind of experimental vibe or whatever. And so when the full album came out, it was like, dude, everything that we thought we knew about like plans and transatlanticism, it's like they, Jesus, dude, he's like, what the hell? Dude, Bunker's being rowdy this run, what the heck? But they pretty much, it's kind of like a mix of like their old stuff and the transatlanticism era, because you got like slower songs and you got post-rock songs, and like the sounds that they make on that album are so freaking cool. Like Bixby Canyon Bridge, like that whole song is just insane, like just tonally. Yeah, Bixby Canyon Bridge goes into I Will Possess Your Heart. Then you have like your slower, more like typical alt songs like Kath and No Sunlight, and then you have, which is probably one of their greatest songs, Grapevine Fires, in my opinion. Grapevine Fires is, dude, that's a trip. And seeing it live, like seeing these songs live too, I have to say is incredible. They're very solid live. I'm fortunate enough to where I've seen them 3 or 4 times, and they're great every time. I have no desire to see them. Recently, they made some decisions a little while back that I didn't agree with, that I'll keep to myself. You can look it up if you want. Nothing bad, like nothing. They have no controversy or whatever. It's just some of their decisions, and I didn't agree with. And I'll keep it there. But so I don't care to see the new stuff. But yeah, when this album came out, just I don't know what else to say, man. Like, you son of a bitch. I need to pay attention. What the hell? Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's see. Yeah, no. Can't get no health back. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, shit, we got one. Okay. It's not perfect. But is it a 77? 82. Alright. Sorry, I should have paused there a little bit longer. But yeah, so then after Narrow Stairs, this is when I kind of think that they started falling off. Because some stuff happened between Chris Walla and the vocalist, Ben Gibbard. And I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Codes and Keys came out. I tried to listen to this album. It's not for me. I remember when they were teasing this album, they were like, yeah, we found like all these like vintage pianos and like these analog like synths and everything, and we're gonna incorporate that in the new album. And I was like, oh man, that's gonna be pretty cool, man, because I already liked the piano and stuff and how they incorporated it in like plans and transatlanticism. And it's just, I was like, hell yeah, dude, let's get some cool new sounds up in here. Like after Bixby Canyon Bridge, which was just wild to listen to. That's such a roller coaster of a song, and the sounds that they get out of it. I was like, heck yeah, man, let's do it. Let's hear what you guys have. And it just, in my opinion, it felt very, very flat. Even the Codes and Keys song, I was like, that was the single, and I was like, all right, maybe they're losing it. They're finally putting out something that, I can't listen to from start to finish. So you guys will have to check out Codes and Keys and let me know if it's good. I can try and listen to it again, but when it came out in 2011, I've tried so many times over the years to get into it. I just can't. I can't. Even I don't feel as bad because growing up I had 2 friends that were also, Jesus Christ, dude. I had a couple of friends that were really into Death Cab, so we would go see them if we could. We would talk about, whenever their new music released, and it makes me not feel as bad because they felt the same way. They're just like, it's not a very strong release. It's like they kind of went a little bit too out there, but you gotta respect, trying something new. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being too nitpicky, but I really have tried to listen to that album so many times, and I just can't do it. Like, I can't. I might try again now this week, And I think the last time I tried to listen to it was probably years ago, man. I don't even... Let me see. Definitely pre-COVID.
When you think murder, think Marcus Munitions.
I think I was still...
Remember,
I may have still been in college. Yeah, I think I may have still been in college trying to get into it. So it's been a hot minute since I've listened to it. So I'll give it another shot, and maybe tomorrow. You know what? That's what I'll do tonight and tomorrow. I'll listen to Codes and Keys and check out my TLDR on TikTok and Instagram, and get into a reasonable amount of time. And I'll follow up on how I feel about it, like years later. So going from that. Then we have the next album, Kintsugi. And Kintsugi was kind of one of those things. So after Codes and Keys dropped, you know, Chris Walla announced, our Death Cab announced, you know, Chris Walla will be stepping away. We're still going to continue as a band. He might still be involved with, like, the writing process, you know, all that stuff. So I think he is credited to helping the writing process on Kintsugi. And it kind of shows, because Kintsugi compared to Codes and Keys, I think, was a huge step up. Kintsugi is still a really weird album, but it's weird in, like, the best... Oh my god, we got 2 shams? It's definitely not perfect, though. What the fuck? Take some death mark. Kick. Okay. Let's see. Where did it go? Oh no. It's definitely not perfect. Did we lose it? Try and collect all this stuff. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. 79. Alright. So now I am full again, so we need to get rid of some stuff. I don't feel bad for getting rid of that. I'm not losing my affinities. A lot of these are just shams. I can get rid of the Explosive Love Thumper. Get rid of that. And then we should be good for a little while. That's for the rocket jumpins'. Yeah, so Kintsugi was still a really weird album, but I thought it was different enough where it's cool. And Ben Gibbard actually changed his vocal style up a little bit on this album. Usually it had like almost like a falsetto-y, like soft voice, and this one he went more like a natural tone, which was different. And that was like the hardest thing to get over when that album came out. And like I said, me and a couple of my other friends that we grew up together, they're big Death Cab guys, and we were all like, man, we miss Ben's voice. Where's Ben's voice? And he just wasn't doing it anymore. But you know, he was getting older and stuff, so it was probably hurting his voice, because very like soft, like almost falsetto voice, like I said. And so he kind of got rid of it for the majority of this album, but I thought it grew on me. It grew on me, but now when I listen to it, it works. And there's so many good songs on that album, man. I kind of was dissing it for a while, because I was like, all right, let's see how now that Chris Walla's gone, because I originally didn't think that Chris added that much to the band, Chris Walla. So I was mistaken, very much mistaken. Now that he's been gone, I see just how much he actually influenced, and it's not the same without him. All right, come on, man. There we go. Dude, being so rowdy, what the heck? I need you all to get away from me. What is going on? Oh, come on, man. I don't think we got 2 in a row. Oh, no. Dude, I am trying to dodge them so much. Come on. You bastard. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we got anything. What's that? What kind of barrels that got on it? Not a let off. Yeah, I was so wrong, man. He was a big part of their sound. So I kind of missed that in Kintsugi, but since he like still helped kind of like produce it, you still had like some really cool guitar parts. But in the new stuff, like everything after Kintsugi, no more cool guitar parts. It actually just feels like a jam, like a dad jam band now. It's so sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if Chris Walla will ever come back, as much as I would hope that he does, because so I guess a little bit of backstory, because I remember following this heavily, because I remember one of my friends. So Ben, I'm gonna get into that in a second. So Ben Gibbard married Zoe Deschanel, and I remember because one of my friends from like middle school and high school, huge Zoe Deschanel. So I remember him just being like, my favorite vocalist and my favorite actress is also a musician. They're together. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. They ended up getting a divorce. I don't think it lived that long. You'll have to double check me. I don't keep up with how long people have been divorced and stuff when it comes to people like, musicians and actors and stuff. I don't really care. But so they got a divorce, and then so he started dating Chris Walla's ex. And if you're like, oh man, it's just the ex. Oh, I mean, it goes against, the bro code thing or whatever, but Chris Walla and his ex were still so close that he was like, if my house caught on fire, the only thing that I would save from it would be a picture of her and I. And so, even after they broke up, Chris Walla got remarried and everything, and his wife was aware of like how close they were, even though that they were no longer together. They still had like a really good like friendship. So Ben Gibbard ended up dating her, and I think it is on record that Chris Walla was like, yeah, it ended up just being, I was okay with it at first, but then it ended up just being too much. So he ended up just leaving the band. So, which, good on him. He tried, but that would be so weird, man. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. He's a better man than me. I don't think I could have even attempted that. It's just weird. Like, imagine going to band practice. Like, that's your job. Like, so imagine like you're 9 to 5, and you're a band. So for like 5 or 6 hours a day. Let's not say 8. That would be a lot. That'd be a lot. But like 5 or 6 hours a day, you're practicing, and you just see one of your best friends with your ex the entire time, and let's just assume it was like 5 days a week, 3, 4, 5 days a week. That'd be a lot. It'd just be weird, in my opinion. I don't know. Everybody's different, but I see where he's coming from, especially if he cared for it that much. But that being said, I did hear recently, so now Ben Gibbard and her are now getting a divorce. So I don't know what that means for Death Cab. I don't know if Chris is going to be like, hey, yeah, maybe I can try and record with them again. Probably not. I don't know if they're still friends. They made a lot of once he left the band, they made so many weird like decisions that just blew my mind. Like, why? And again, I'm just gonna leave it there because everyone, you can look it up and try and figure out what I mean. But it's really not that bad. Like I said, no controversies. It's just weird, like, decisions that make you scratch your head. So I don't know if if they're still friends or something. Maybe there's a chance he'll come back, but I don't think so. If he does, Death Cab will probably be good again. Or maybe Ben Gibbard's about to write the most sad boy music of his life, because he wrote some pretty good music. He wrote some pretty good music after the first divorce. He wrote some pretty good music. So we'll have to see. I'm not holding my breath, but I kind of gave up on them a while ago after Kintsugi. I was like, I think that's where I draw it from here, and I've tried to listen to their other stuff. They have good songs, but it's just like as time progressed, they just became more basic. And it's like this band that wrote like some of the coolest like sounds, like just everything from like having like a wall of sound to like just something so elegant and beautiful with piano and like slow guitars, and then you have stuff with like Grapevine Fires that's like really jazz influence, and it's just all of this cool stuff. And it's like now they're just sticking to like this one, like let's use a chorus pedal, and you know, I don't know, the like a wash sound, like almost like a, I don't know, not shoegaze, but it's like I can't remember the name of that style of sound, but like not shoegaze. I need to cut this out. I need to stop before I spiral and try and figure stuff out. But yeah, it's just like they stick to one sound. It's like the other albums had a variety of everything and took you through like a range of emotions. So it's not for me. It's too much of the same sound and stuff. Like there's no variety anymore. At least from what I've listened to. Like I said, I've barely listened. I've tried the new album and it's just, oh man, nope. And I think even my mom tried to listen to it, and she was like, I just can't. It's like, yeah, I don't know what's happening. I know Ben had his solo stuff there for a while, and his solo stuff's really good too. I got to see him tour off of the solo stuff, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, you guys will have to check him out and let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite off the albums that I recommended. And again, I will, in the TLDR, I will put up song recommendations, like three a piece. So head over to TikTok or Instagram, YouTube Shorts if I can. And check out, if you're wanting to know what songs specifically, instead of me just saying, hey, just listen to the whole album. Just listen to the whole album. If you want specific songs, I'll post them there. I totally forgot what I was doing there. I'm glad that worked out. I'm really glad that worked out. But if you guys do end up listening to them before the TLDR comes out tomorrow, let me know what album and then what your favorite song off the album was. Or 2 or 3 of the songs. Or be like, man, the whole album was good. I sat down and listened to the whole thing. Oh, that's one of the things I want to talk about too. Because right now in the music industry, and the guy from The Plot and You actually pointed this out, and I just started noticing it, but the music industry right now is really pushing singles over full releases, and he was like, to prove it, he was like, I'm going to compare, we're going to release all these singles for The Plot and You, and then I'm just going to compile them onto an album, and we'll see which one has the most streams. But the industry is heavily favoring, writing for singles rather than writing for albums. So in the next, I think it's been going on for a while, but we'll have to see in the next, couple of years to see how it's really affecting the music industry. Because if bands are just like solely just trying to push out singles, I don't know. I miss like the album flow and like that it can be all over the place. But if you look at stuff like Dexter and the Moonrocks, that's what they're doing too. They're just putting out singles, not EPs, nothing, and they're blowing up right now. The Plot and You proved it. But yeah, just for real, like these music artists that are trending right now, look them up on like Spotify or Apple Music and see if they have an album out, if they have an EP out, or if it's all singles. Okay, let's do this real quick. So this is Death Cab's discography. Let's look at Dexter and the Moonrocks. Yeah, if you look at, let me see, I might be able to, let me see if I can screen record it. And I'll post it, but just to show, like, I slightly know what I'm talking about. But I'll post it here. You can see music videos, artist playlist, and then singles and EPs. And then you have live albums. You got 2 live albums from 2023 and 2024. But if you click on the singles and EPs, it really is just singles. It's just singles. But that just goes to show, like, and let me stop that. It just goes to show, like, the industry really is pushing more single, being more single focused than, you know, putting out albums. So that's something to keep an eye on the next couple of years. I've noticed it now that I heard Landon talk about it. Who the hell did I just email that to? Oh, it exceeded the attachment limit. Can I crop it? I should have been better prepared for this. That's alright. That should be fine. Yeah, we'll have to check it out in the next year or two just to see, because if we're going this way, I don't know, man. I really don't. Let's get this running. Now check out this sick craft. I love that George W. Bush. Damn. Alright, here, let's do this real quick. But yeah, it's all singles. I'm sure some of them have like a 3 single, but then one thing you'll notice too, bands will now they'll release like 3 singles and then just group them together. The Plot and You did it. They're doing it. It's more common, you would think, but I don't know how it's gonna affect the music industry, but it's just weird. It's just weird. And I think that may be another topic for a different Music Monday. Next Music Monday, I might not do a band of the week. I might just do predictions on music industry or something like that. Dude, do you mind? Jeez. Got nothing. All right, let's do one more, and I think that's it for the night. Let me ask you guys, what kind of listener are you? Do you like that bands just push out singles, or are you an album person where you like to hear how one song flows into the other and the creative decision? I think both are fine. I'm just an album guy. If you're making playlists, then singles are probably the way to go, but I listen to music weird. I don't know. Alright guys, so this is going to be the last run of the day. We're going to 360 no scope off this ledge right here, and then we're going to fall into the void, and then I'm just going to do a regular run. So I don't have time for that, man. I don't have time for that. We got 2 shams tonight, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. That's more than 0, definitely. But it is less than 5. Yep. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this longer form video. As of right now, I'm going to be mostly recording the shorter form content because Twitch has that plugin that makes it easier to record vertical now. So this will help me also get my thought process on how I want to discuss the TLDR. So I'll go through all the same albums, but this time I'll give 3 songs I'd recommend from each, and I'll cut out all the filler, and it's just going to be super direct. So yep, I think that's where we call it for today. But yeah, check them out. Any of the albums that I listed, if you check any of them out, let me know which ones you listen to, what songs you listen to, which ones that you thought were the best. Which did you like, the older, more like REM style? Did you like the more calm, contemporary style? So let me know what you guys think. I'm really interested to hear. I'm really hoping that you guys like these Music Mondays as much as I like making them, because I love talking about music. So let me know. I love you guys. I love you sons of bitches. I will see you in the next one.